All right. So this was the fourth day of the 4-day design sprint. So this would mark the last day. I've been trying to follow pretty strictly to the outline of a traditional sprint and the 4-day sprint from AJ Smart, but this has been a solo sprint. So it's a little bit different in some ways. There's not as much discussion, not as many ideas. But this marks the end of the prototype. Now it's time to find some people to demo it, give me some feedback. And one thing I'd like to change a little bit about this solo sprint process is, we'll see next time I do this, but I might be interested in having 2 different prototyping days because I'm just such a perfectionist. It's hard for me to just prototype and throw it in front of someone the very next day. So I've spent most of today just refining the prototype a little bit. I spent some time talking to different pro members because I think they'll be my first friends that I'll send it out to. So then I went through and I tried to change the context to be a little more fitting for them. So yeah, this is the end of the 4th day, and I'm just getting ready to send out this demo right now. So as you can see, I replaced the AppSumo opening scene. I replaced it with the future email, which would be more fitting for this first little group that I'll send it to. And after that, let's just send it and see where it goes. So before I cover that, let's just look over the checklist of things that we do on the interviews. So on the typical sprint day, we'll have, I'm still on, here we go, Friday. Five is the magic number. They think that 5 people is enough to have a statistical significance on the test. I'm not going to be setting up all the hardware since this is going to be a remote sprint. I think it's best done. We don't need to do Zoom. I'm going to do it pretty informal on this one, so I'm just going to send links to the prototypes and just message some people to get their input on it. So yeah, we're not going to be following this exactly since it's going to be a little more open-ended, but I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. You can go ahead and just click on that, and it'll bring you to the opening scene of the prototype. So right now, go ahead and pause this video if you want, do the prototype. It's only 6 different screens, so it should take less than a minute to go through for sure. And if you can just start here, go all the way to the end, and then unpause this video when you're done, and I'll walk you through it a little bit more. Okay, so you've gone through the prototype. You started right here. Oh, I still have AppSumo up there. It should say from the future. Let me change that right now. Oh, that'll take a minute to change. Anyways, you go to join the Course Creators Club. I hope that this copy made enough sense. Now you come to a page where it says find your tribe, get exclusive courses, discussions, resources. Obviously the search bar is not working. It would filter different groups and tribes, interests. So we want you to click on this Course Creators Club. Hopefully you're interested in creating a course. That's most of the people that I'm sending this to at the moment. This lists out different courses that are available. Some posts down here. Let's click on creating your first course. Now it's asking you to join Course Creators Tribe. Asks you to sign up. It's a pretty simple sign up process. Now you have access to this creating your first course, and you can click start creating your first course. Now at this point, this is the end of the demo. So I've realized that the problem with this prototype is that it's all based on the value, and the value will be based on the value of the content. So really, if I'm looking back on this week as a design sprint, it got me to this point where I can see different models of how different subgroups would be able to gain value from some type of interactive guide like this. So instead of just teaching you how to create a course, it's actually asking you for input along the way, and you're kind of starting to formulate your ideas of your first course as you start, and then as you go through it, you would start inputting more and more material. I have a couple details here that I think would be cool, like if you could share it with Notion, Webflow, WordPress, or Teachable, so it wasn't glued to any platform. I think it'd be cool if it was in form of a challenge that you had to complete something like once a day for 100 days if you wanted to really solidify your course. So this part's kind of open-ended right here. I would really love some input. If I can just give a little context right here. This is integrated with Circle, which is acting as the new home for the Future Pro group community, as well as a lot of other communities are moving over from Facebook groups to Circle. Now, Circle has, let me pull up this was December's demo. Circle has, they're going to have an API. Right now I'm working off of their embedding, and that's how I'm integrating it with this platform. But this original idea was basically tying in courses with the Circle discussion is housed right here. It's just one click away, and then each lesson would also have its own thread that correlates with it. So that was my original idea. Now where I'm really leaning is Circle. It doesn't really have subgroups yet, and that's one thing that Facebook offered, is that we were able to create different subgroups for different interests within the pro group. And so I would almost like to create a graphical interface for the subgroups and have it integrated with Circle. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I think it would be really cool if it was a type of incubation place for people to start developing these courses. And it doesn't have to be courses, but I'm thinking of it as a safe incubation place where people start to develop these ideas. And then if they succeed, then these can be plucked by the instructors or whoever to kind of open it up to a bigger marketing channel. So that's where we are this week. For some reason, whenever I'm done with the sprint, I always feel like this is just the beginning, and I'm almost embarrassed to release a prototype such as this. But thank you so much for any of your input that you can give on it. It will be fundamental to me helping decide which direction this product's going to go. And please feel free to chat, ask any questions or comments. Much love to you guys. All right. See you tomorrow.